I got asked once to do the Macarena. I think it was for like 3 hours with a person dressed up as a giant camel. And like, who's gonna say no to that?
What is like your wildest mascot story?
Being able to be the mascot at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees don't have a mascot. Why, I don't know, but I think they should. I got to be there, and all of like the employees at Yankee Stadium were freaking out, and they were giving me all this Yankees gear, and I was just like wearing a Yankees jersey over the NYU jersey with like a Yankees baseball cap, and like people weren't sure like why I was there or what I was doing, but they were like, oh my god, there's this giant cat dressed in different types of uniforms, like let's like take photos with it. And I was getting just bombarded by Yankees fans. And unfortunately for the Yankees, I'm an Orioles fan, so the whole time I was there, I was like, I hope the Yankees lose, but I couldn't say that.
But we also wanted to ask you about like, how did you become the NYU mascot?
And when I was in high school, one of the odd jobs I had was working as a Christmas elf during the holidays. And I always thought that was so much fun, and it was just definitely better than, you know, like folding jeans at an American Eagle. So when I was in college, I went to, I believe it was the NYU like school club fair or something like that. And I saw the mascot booth, the woman who had been the former mascot, and she was trying to find somebody to like fill her position. So you have to do tryouts. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had to put together this full skit. I think I was supposed to be interacting with a sword and a rose and dancing to like Michael Jackson. And I went in, made the whole thing up on the spot, fully out of costume, like just looking like I do right now, just dancing and pretending I was like this like 600-pound fluffy cat. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I learned to love basketball because I had to go to every single basketball game. And for a while, I used to cheer on fouls on the other team, which apparently I shouldn't have done, like fencing, where I don't know why they asked for a mascot, but I probably shouldn't have been there because I kept being told by the other team that I was a distraction. And I was like, you know what? If I distract the opposing team, I'm doing something right. Fencing games were weird. I've learned a lot about fencing in my time. And at NYU, being able to be paid to do that was also awesome.
What are the challenges of being a mascot at a school that's not as sports-oriented as it could be?
My first year as the Bobcat, the males basketball team did really, really well. We were Division III, and we ended up playing Division II teams, and for all of those games, we would just get mobbed. And it was one of these things of like, all of a sudden, like, I'm so used to being able to just like walk down an aisle, but I would have just people left and right jumping on me and hugging me and being like, oh my god, we have a mascot. Like, people didn't even know we had a mascot. That's how like low our sports teams were. And we had to get us a security guard. We literally had to have somebody like protect me and be like, please do not jump on her. Like, you might not realize this, but it's a 5'2" girl under there.
Can you tell us the story about why it's the Bobcat?
This is the nerdiest thing that NYU could do. It's called the Bobcat after the library, the Bobst catalog. So it's literally just shortened from Bobst catalog to Bobcat. When I was there, we really tried to like spin this tale that the founder of NYU, Albert Gallatin, actually saved and rescued a bobcat, and that's why we were the Bobcats. But like, just that never took on. Like, I think people were like, no, we're named after the library, like it has to stay that way. But alongside like being just filled with a lot of intellectual people, a lot of NYU is filled with some of the artsiest people I've ever met. So when you kind of take together this like nerdy academic component and put it together with something like silly and frivolous, I feel like you really do get like your average NYU student. I went out on a bang though. I got to graduate in the mascot uniform because like no one was supposed to know I was the mascot. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear the costume and let everybody know. On my like name on the graduation roll call or whatnot, it had the little asterisk that was like NYU mascot, you know, and everybody else was like scholar, like cum laude or whatever. That was by far, I think, the best way I could have left that position.